Hare Krishna, good morning, and welcome all of you all for the Sunday morning Bhagavad Gita class. Right now, we are on the series of Vedic, what is it, Bhagavatam, lessons from Bhagavatam series, and we are going to part two of lesson of Bhagavatam series. Dipali, you will have to change the heading accordingly. We will continue in the same series, lessons from the Bhagavatam series, and it will be part two. Okay, so before we go ahead, very important announcement to all devotees who are serious and senior and who want to go ahead in the spiritual life. Monday, tomorrow was a very auspicious day. It is Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi. बहुत ही जरूरी दिन है. We all are supposed to follow this Ekadashi very strictly. Why I'm mentioning this as Nirjala Ekadashi, the reason is इस एकादशी में निर्जल रहना पड़ेगा अपने को. क्यों? इसके पीछे एक छोटी सी कहानी है, बताता हूं मैं आपको. Once Bhim had a fire in his stomach. हम लोग सबके अंदर एक फायर है, but his fire name was specifically named as विक्र. विक्र नाम की अग्नि थी उसके जठरे में. And that fire always, कुछ भी खा लिया, that fire digests. In fact, Lord says that in the Bhagavad Gita also, Chaturvidha bhajante mam jan. Sorry, what is that? I'm not getting the verse. That I digest the fire. Pran apan saman yukta pachamyannam chaturvidham. So Lord says clearly in the Bhagavad Gita that I digest the fire in the form of vikra, fire. So Bhim was a ferocious eater. So he said, I'm very hungry always. Krishna, I cannot do Ekadashi. Ekadashi मेरे बस की बात नहीं है. तो हम सब शायद उनके वंशज में से आ रहे हैं. हम लोगों को भी वी आर नॉट एबल टू डू एकादशी. एकादशी के दिन ज़्यादा भूख लगती है, इनफैक्ट नॉट नॉर्मल, एक्स्ट्रा भूख लगती है. So we all tend to eat more feasting rather than fasting. So Krishna told Bhima, okay, I'll give one special concession to you. You may have to, if you are forced to eat on other Ekadashis, no problem. There are total 24 Ekadashis in a year. One Ekadashi, which is called as Bhim Nirjala Ekadashi, the Ekadashi which is going to be tomorrow, is very auspicious. He said, you just keep this one Ekadashi, Nirjala, without having water. Actually, the rule is every Ekadashi you are supposed to be without water, but practically it is not possible. We are all working, going out to office and all other things. So we tend to eat some things which are allowed in our Ekadashi food. But ideally speaking, we are supposed to be only living on no water, only living on air on that day. Certain conditions like health issues and all can have fruits and fruit juices. That's the only liberty can be given. So Krishna said, okay, you don't have to maintain all the 24 Ekadashi, just maintain this Ekadashi and you will get the phala of all the 24 Ekadashis just by staying Nirjala for one Ekadashi. So it's very important. Ekadashi generally starts early in the morning, so you all can get up somewhere in and around 5 o'clock, not later than that. 5 o'clock early in the morning. If anyone has to take any medicines, antacid tablets, because some people may get acidity and all, they can take antacid tablet because whole day you're going to be fasting without water. By on or before 5 o'clock, you can have your medicine with how much water you want, you can have. With how much water you want, you can have. After that, you can not have any water. That day you are supposed to do more of spiritual activities rather than material activities. If you want, you can take an off from your office that day. Chant more rounds, read some nice Krishna book, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and all those books. And if you're feeling very tired, go to sleep early, no problem. Actually, ideally, you're supposed to be awake whole night also. This is what the ideal conditions are. One has to chant or do kirtan whole night being awake. But we are the Kali Yuga dolls, so we have our own limitations. The bottom line is somehow or the other, the problem will become more intense once it is evening around 4 o'clock. Till 4 o'clock, things go on easily. But after 4 o'clock, the senses demand, the mind says, leave it. You should now take water. I am your best friend. I'm telling you it's for your own good. Your kidneys will get spoiled. Your stomach is going to get spoiled. You're going to have a splitting headache. See, Prabhuji will sell, but you have to be practical. All these things your mind will tell you. Don't worry. You can practically experience it tomorrow. So your mind will tell you a number of things, but then don't listen to your mind. जो मन का सुनता है वो मंकी होता है, सो मन का मत सुनना. शास्त्रों का आधार पे चलना. Of course, those who are having health issues, certain chronic diseases or chronic health issues, please do not go for it. This is only mainly for the youngsters and those who are totally fit. Those who have to take, compulsory medicines every day. Those who are diabetic, and those people also can, pro day basis live on fruit juices or on fruits. That is okay. Don't eat anything. Preferably don't eat even ekadashi food. Please try to avoid that day. That is my only suggestion. So this is a procedure for Nirjala Ekadashi, and next day on the Parayan time, sharp on the dot, please break your fast. Then only you will get the phala of this Ekadashi. Last but not the least, whole day the focus should be more on devotion rather than on materialistic things. Again and again I'm telling you, because people generally tend to do materialistic things and then they feel more distracted from those activities. That is the reason. So with this note, we would like to start today's session, and today's session is going to be about Sudama. All of you all must have heard about Sudama, Kuchelan. सुदामा सुना है कि नहीं सुना है? कितने लोगों को पता है सुदामा की कहानी, पूरी कहानी? अरे कोई तो हैंड्स अप करो चैट बॉक्स में. वीडियो तो कोई स्टार्ट तो कर नहीं रहा है काफी लोग, तो चैट बॉक्स में हाथ ऊपर कीजिए. कितने लोगों को पता है सुदामा के बारे में? दो, ओनली एक ही आदमी को पता है. दो जन पता है, दो जन को पता है. Okay, only 2-3 people are knowing it, not much. Okay, let's see how far, let's check your knowledge, how far you have knowledge about Sudama. So you all must be knowing that Krishna had gone to Ujjain, Avanti or Ujjain, today it's Ujjain, to study under Sandipani Muni ashram. So Sandipani Muni ashram, he was studying with Sudama, his best classmate friend. And so to say, why he is called as best friend? 24 hours Krishna used to be with Sudama, whether eating, playing, or attending school or anything. Always Krishna and Sudama, best friends. Friends forever बोलते हैं ना. This is actual friends forever story बताता हूँ मैं आप लोगों को. बाकी सब तो फायदा नुकसान वाले फ्रेंड्स हैं. ये एक स्टोरी है जहाँ पे फ्रेंड्स फॉरएवर, एक्चुअली फ्रेंड्स फॉरएवर का कहानी है. So Krishna was in Sandipani Muni ashram, and there Sudama had come. Sudama is basically from Junagadh. That's the place where he hails from. Sudama Puri is still there, famous place. And when Sudama came over there, he was very much close to Krishna. So he was so close that without him, he would not even stay for a minute. Whenever they used to go to the native place for, sorry, not a native, that inside the village, when their guru used to send them to the forest or inside the village for doing madhukari, that is asking for alms or getting firewood, they would all go together, and Krishna would be always in the protection of Sudama. No, sorry, Sudama would be always in the protection of Krishna. I would like to ask one question over here. Most of the people must have heard a story of Krishna and Sudama going to the forest, and the Guru Mata giving some food for Krishna and in the hands of Sudama, and Sudama ate it and did not give it to Krishna. How many of you all have heard this story? कितने लोग ने सुना है? Raise your hand in the chat box. How many all believe it also? Okay, you can unmute and speak, or you can ask the host. You will unmute you and you can speak. Yes, Priya Mittal Mataji, you believe ये कहानी सही है? Deepali, please unmute them. Those who want to speak. Yeah.
Yes, प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा।
Yes, Mataji.
प्रभु जी, ये कहानी बिल्कुल सही है कि मम्मी ने सुनाई थी, ज्यादा तो पढ़ा नहीं है, कि जब ये साथ में पढ़ते थे तो एक बारी भगवान जी को गुरु माता ने चने खाने के लिए दिए, और दोनों ये लोग रात में कहीं जंगल में थे और बारिश पड़ रहा था। तो भगवान कृष्ण कहने लगे कि पेड़ पे चढ़े हुए थे, तो भगवान कृष्ण पूछने लगे कि ये आप क्या खा रहे हो? उनको चने खाने की आवाज आ रही थी, तो थोड़ी कड़कड़ की आवाज आ रही थी। तो उन्होंने बोला, आप क्या खा रहे हो? तो सुदामा जी बोले, नहीं नहीं, मेरे तो ठंड के कारण दांत बज रहे हैं, मैं तो कुछ नहीं खा रहा हूँ। और उन्होंने जो वो खाना, मुट्ठी भर चना था जो दिया था गुरु माँ ने, वो उन्होंने वहां पर वो खुद ही अकेले बैठ के खा लिया और भगवान को नहीं दिया। This was the story I heard about Sudama.
Yeah, many people must have heard the story, but tragically, this is not the true story.
Okay.
I'll tell you the true story, what it is.
Okay, Prabhuji.
What does this actually reflect on our thinking? But first, let's understand why we say Vipra Sudama. हम लोग हमेशा कहते हैं ना विप्र सुदामा।
He was very गरीब?
गरीब के लिए नहीं, वो उसको लिए उसका नाम है कुचेला। कुचेला मीन्स वन हु वेयर्स टोन क्लोथ्स। एंड रही बात विप्र की, our varnashram dharma is broken into various varna and ashram. Brahmacharya, then grahastha, vanaprastha, and finally sannyas. These are the various ashrams, and the four varnas are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Brahmins are supposed to be the intellect class. Like if you go to any office, there is something called an intellect class, जो decisions लेता है. Kshatriyas are the fighting or those who implement the work. Vaishyas who are the marketing people, so to say, जो पैसा जमा करके लेके आते हैं, or the finance department. And last but not the least, the Shudras who basically work. No one is higher, no one is lower. All are equal. Only thing is, it is thanks to the Britishers, they created this rift inside us. Oh, you are being downtrodden. You know, and for conversion sake, there used to be cases where, some Shudra used to be going around, some low class person used to go around. So deliberately they used to go and tell them, okay, go into the temple and see what happens. They used to, चढ़ाते थे उसको, बेचारा जाता, तो वहां का पंडित क्या बोलता था, अरे जाओ, नहाया नहीं, जाओ घर पे जाओ, नहा के आओ। क्या बोला? घर पे जाके नहा के आओ। He has not told anything wrong, but as soon as that person used to come out, those missionary peoples, the Christian missionary people, they used to stand outside. They still stand outside, and they used to say, see, you are people, how they are treating you. You come to our church, there is no demarcation. Anyone can come. Please, you also come. And they used to immediately take him to the church. So this was a divide and rule which was done, whereas our Varnashram Dharma, which was there for millions of years, no fight between the four Varna and the four ashrams. The four Varnas never had a fight, but only it is created fight. So we have to remember the four Varna. Please understand, we are preparing for the final exam before we start the Bhagavad Gita class, especially for the new Krishna Bhakt group people. The exam questions will be asked, so please try to understand these points clearly. So it is going to be four Varnas and four ashrams. The four Varnas are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and the four ashrams are Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. So Vipra Sudama. Vipra means what? Again, the Brahmana is divided into four stages. First, a person who is born in a Brahminical family, he is not a Brahmin. He is just born in a Brahmana's house. I always give the example, डॉक्टर घर में पैदा होने से बच्चा डॉक्टर नहीं होता है, वकील के घर पे बच्चा पैदा होने से वकील नहीं होता. You have to qualify for the education. So what they used to do? They used to first, when he is born, Kalo Sambha Shudra. Everyone born in Kali Yuga especially is Shudra only. So what happens to him? Then when his Upanayanam Sanskar is done, it is called as Dvija. Dvija means second born, twice born. Are humans only twice born, or there are others also who are twice born? Priya Singh, do you know?
Prabhuji, birds.
Yes, not just birds, even snakes lay eggs. Anything which lays eggs, even turtles lay eggs. So any animal which lays an egg, जो अंडा डालता है, it is twice born. They are also called as द्विज. पहला उनका जन्म होता है एक अंडे के शेप में, फिर अंडे में से इंक्यूबेट होके वो बाहर निकलते हैं. सो दे आर ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज द्विज. सो by Brahman, when he is initiated with a thread, with a sacred thread डालते हैं, जिसको मुंज कहते हैं या जिसको उपनयन संस्कार कहते हैं. उपनयन संस्कार करने के बाद वो होता है द्विज. फिर जब वो शास्त्र का अध्ययन करने लगता है, when he starts reading the shastra, he is called as Vipra. So why he is called as Vipra? He was studying the shastra along with Krishna at Sandipuni Muni ashram. And last but not the least, once the education is over, he is called as Brahmana. He becomes a Brahman. So now we understand there are various stages even in a Brahman. So finally, when the day of education got over, it was too short. How long was the friendship of Sudama with Krishna? Hardly 65 days. 64 days, Krishna learned 64 arts, right? In 64 days, he learned all the 64 arts. So अभी extra classes तो कराना नहीं ना वहाँ पे, extra coaching classes तो कराना नहीं है एक. और आजकल के जरा उस जमाने में पढ़ाई क्या हुआ करता था? Actual knowledge. आजकल क्या सिखाते हैं? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. अरे हम्टी डम्टी दीवार पे बैठे, जमीन पे बैठे, गिर जाए, उनका हाथ पैर टूटे, क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है हमको? Is that knowledge going to be of any use to you? But we also as parents very sincerely, hey, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, twinkle twinkle little star. My God, all nonsense stuff is being taught, but nothing is taught about God. भगवान के बारे में कुछ नहीं सिखाते हैं, ना ही इंटरेस्ट है हमको सिखाने का. We are just interested in teaching nonsense which we have been given by our British ancestors. And that is the reason why today children are going dull and dumb. You know, the most educated person or highly educated person, why you get so educated? If I ask someone, only for money, sir, not for knowledge. And they are the most depression people. Huh? They are suffering maximum depression. You ask any uneducated person, you ever seen depression in an uneducated person? No problem. Or in a devotee also, you will not see depression. He knows it's all because of karmas, because of past karmas, I am suffering, I am enjoying. Whatever is happening is because of the past. So he's not bothered. Neither a uneducated person. The overeducated person are the people who are suffering with maximum depression and psychiatric problem. So those days, when Krishna was studying with Singh, there was only knowledge about Brahman. So एक बार एक छोटा सा कहानी है. कृष्ण बैठे थे एंड सुदामा बेस्ट फ्रेंड, सो क्लासमेट, बेंचमेट, एक ही बेंच में साथ ही बैठे हुए. एंड सब लोग को गुरुजी ने बोला, चलो ब्राह्मण के बारे में सीखना है, चलो जैसे ब्राह्मण के बारे में सीखना है, सभी ने अपना बुक्स के अंदर ध्यान देना लगा. All were reading Veda part and all those things. So they all turned towards the book. What did Sudama do? ब्रह्म के बारे में जानना है तो बगल में तो बैठा है ब्रह्म, उसके बाद उसी को जान लेता हूँ. Why should I read the books? So he just turned towards Krishna and started looking at Krishna. But the best joke was Krishna was looking inside the book. The best joke was Krishna was looking inside the book. So Sudama was wondering, what is Krishna looking inside the book for? He himself is the book. वेद वही है, उनसे वेद आया हुआ है, तो वो क्या वेद पढ़ेंगे? तो घूम के देखा तो देखा बुक में एक गोपी का फोटो है. He was seeing a photo of a gopi. And it's not a joke. Today also you go to Ujjain, go to Sandipani Muni Ashram, and if you go and see, all the murals are kept very nice, a place where the Havan was done, everything is still there. कभी जाएंगे यात्रा में तो वहां पे आज भी कृष्ण को किताब में पढ़ते हुए दिखाया गया है और उसमें आज भी वो फोटो है, एक गोपी का फोटो रखा गया है. So it's not, I'm just not telling you a whimsical story. The reason is, like how a devotee is always thinking how I can serve Krishna, Krishna is also busy thinking how I can serve my devotee. And Krishna is always thinking about a gopi. आज इस गोपी पे मैं कैसे अनुग्रह करूं? How I can shower my mercy on this gopi. So he was actually seeing the photo of a gopi and thinking, what mercy should I shower on her? So this is what Krishna is studying in the school. Huh? So if you all think very smartly, I fooled my mommy and daddy, I was actually having a comic inside my workbook, and mommy was thinking I was doing my workbook, but actually I was having a comic inside it. You can never become a bigger cheater than Krishna. सबसे बड़ा चोर वही है. इसके लिए कभी भी द्वारका में कभी चोरी नहीं होती थी, मालूम है. पर यही फर्क है, हम सब भौतिक चीजों के चोर हैं, मगर भगवान हमारे चित्त के चोर हैं. He takes our heart. We never take anyone's heart. हम सिर्फ गालियां लेते हैं दुनिया की, और हम दूसरे के भौतिक चीजों को चुराने में एक्सपर्ट हैं. So looking into this conditions that the thing got over, Sudama was very sad. अरे अभी तो स्टार्ट हुआ पढ़ाई, just had my friendship with Krishna had started and everything got over so fast. My God, what's the use? And I'm going to miss Krishna. Krishna said, don't worry, we are always friends forever. Don't worry, whenever you want, you can come and meet me and all that. So finally, Krishna came back to Mathura, and Sudama, after completing his education, went to Junagadh, this place, Sudamapuri. And at Sudamapuri, he got married. His wife's name was Kalyani. Bhagavatam says very nicely that Kalyani was such a nice lady. Why a nice lady? She was always she was always with Sudama. She never cribbed against Sudama. Arey, you're not bought me a diamond necklace. You're not bought me a nice car. You're not bought me some nice utensils, nice dresses. Generally, sorry to say all the ladies are there in the class, but generally, ladies have a habit of saying what I have not received. If you ask any lady, they have got a list of things what they have not or yet to receive from their husband. But the greatness of Kalyani was she knew her husband was poor, very poor. It's Bhagavatam says very clearly how skinny he was. Literally, veins could be seen on his body. And like food was not a daily food means lunch or dinner was not a daily routine. Once in a while they used to have food. And he was a Brahmana. He could not go break his rules, and he was to maintain his rules, but he used to read Bhagavatam regularly and spiritual scriptural books regularly. But when Krishna was studying, left for Dwarka, there he got married. He was staying with his 16,108 wives, Rukmani being the prime one. Of course, there are 5, but main of the 5, the most important was Rukmani. But he used to also remember, my friend Sudama, very nice friend of mine. He used to always remember. Here, whenever he used to always tell his wife, Sudama used to tell his wife, Krishna is my best friend. We have studied together. After a few hours, again he used to call his wife, Kalyani, Sudama used to tell his wife again and again, call and tell me, myself, Sudama and Krishna are very good friends. We have studied together. But here the quality of a good wife was, और एक बार बुलाने के बाद क्या बोलती है, हाँ हाँ पता है मुझे आप और आपके कृष्ण दोनों अच्छे फ्रेंड से, ऐसा कल्याणी नहीं बोलती थी. She was a very nice lady. She used to listen again. Ah, is it? As if she's hearing for the first time, and Sudama is telling for the first time. Finally, one day, though it was a very hardship they were going through, Kalyani called Sudama and she said, why don't you go and meet your friend and come? When you're remembering him so much, always you're remembering him. Why don't you go and meet him once? Immediately, Sudama's eyes sparkled. Wow, nice idea. I'll go to Dwarka and meet my friend and come. It's long I have not met him. It's ages I have not met him. She said, okay, Krishna may know that we are poor, but you need not ask anything. But let's go and meet your friend and come. Immediately Sudama said, how can I go empty-handed? I need something. So immediately she went and saw in the kitchen, there was nothing. Only rats were moving around the kitchen. Nothing was there in the house. So immediately she went to her neighbor's house and she knocked the door. So many years for her own children, for her own husband, and for herself, she had never asked for a morsel of food from anybody. But for the sake of Krishna, she went and asked. She said, my husband is going to Dwarka to meet Krishna. He wants to carry some gifts along with him. Please, can you give me some? Give me something. From what moral do we get from this? Though we may live a life of contentment, though we may have the ego of not going to ask or beg in front of anyone, but if the situation comes that we have to go and ask for the sake of Krishna, there is no shame. One should do it. And the benefit also, I'll tell you at the end of the story. So immediately, the neighbors were very happy that Sudama is going to meet Krishna. So one neighbor gave a small fistful of puffed rice, poha, kacha poha diya. Krishna loves that very much. So it was too less. So she said she went to a couple of houses, because the plural word is used in Bhagavatam. This proves that she had gone to a couple of houses to collect the puffed rice. And then she tied it in a piece of cloth. Some acharyas say that she tore a piece of her sari, and to that she added this poha, this puffed rice, and made a small packet and gave it to Sudama and told Sudama, now you can go and give it to your friend when you go and meet him. So Sudama was very much excited. Of course, there were no trains, planes in those days. So it's from Junagadh, Sudama had to walk all the way up to Dwarka. And it is very nicely said, Sudama was in total samadhi in Krishna, total meditation Krishna. It so happened once Sudama was in the jungle and one team of devotees playing Harinam Sankirtan and going Hare Krishna करके वो लोग गा के जा रहे थे. And Sudama just blindly followed them. Actually, he was going to the opposite direction to where he wanted to go or where he had to go. He had to go towards Dwarka, but he was going against Dwarka, following that team. And in the night when he slept, Acharyas say Krishna used to pick him up and put him in the same distance on the opposite side so that he doesn't go the opposite direction. So in that way, after a few days, Sudama somehow reached Dwarka. On seeing Dwarka, he was wondering, wow, what a place. Full place was of emerald, sapphires, rubies, chintamani's, name it. Everything is mentioned in Bhagavatam. Beautiful description of entire Dwarka is mentioned there. And Sudama was wondering, ये तो है तो द्वारका कृष्ण का जगह है, बट यहाँ पे कृष्ण किधर है, किसके महल में है? 16,108 महल एंड एक से एक बढ़िया. सो इसमें ढूंढूं किस महल में ढूंढूं मैं? मेरे कृष्ण को, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, मेरा कृष्ण। हम कृष्ण को अक्सर ढूंढते हैं मगर अपने कृष्ण को नहीं ढूंढते हैं, अपने इष्ट का देवता को नहीं ढूंढते हैं। दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम। फाइनली he saw one mahal or one palace specially decorated. It had lots of rubies, emeralds, chintamani. The whole door was made of diamonds. So this proves Krishna के यहाँ कोई चोरी नहीं होती थी। यहाँ डालोगे, anyone can dare to put a diamond door, ruby door, नेक्स्ट डे फोन कॉल आ जाएगा या तो डोर ही गायब हो जाएगा, दोनों में से एक। So finally Sudama went into that house and there he saw a big line standing. Big lines of big kings from various places who had come over there. And all those kings were all standing to meet Krishna. So Sudama saw all those people and each one is standing, like the first one standing in the line. He's saying, I'm standing for the past 6 months. One of the kings in the line said, I'm standing for the past 6 months. What, standing for 6 months? Yes, I've come from Nepal and I've got some nice rubies and emeralds. I want to gift that. For that I've come to meet Krishna, but Krishna is not giving me his audience. After a few seconds, when Sudama went ahead, he saw another king standing in the queue. So what are you talking of 6 months? I'm standing here for the past 8 months. 8 months, what are you doing? No, I've come from Kashmir. I've got some, not पैकेट है, छोटे छोटे डिब्बियां नहीं लाया हूं। किसका किसका? केसर का। पूरा बोरी लाया हूं केसर का। आई गॉट tons of kesar flower for Krishna, but Krishna is not giving me audience and I am waiting in this line. तो सुदामा बोला, with the gift which I am carrying, अपना तो नंबर लगने वाला ही नहीं है। He was very sad. He said, let me go back. There's no point my standing in this queue. Suddenly the doorkeeper, he started shouting, oh Brahman, come in. You please go inside. So Sudama got a shock. Who, me? Yes, आप ही जाइए, आप जाइए अंदर से। बोले यहाँ ऐसा कैसे? नहीं, वो लोगों को कृष्ण ने खड़ा किया है बिकॉज वो लोग कुछ अर्थ पाने के लिए आए हैं, सम मटेरियल बेनिफिट पाने के लिए खड़े हैं। हम लोग भी ऐसे करते हैं ना कई बार। भगवान आपको चढ़ावा दिया है मैंने, ध्यान रख लेना, कीप अ स्पेशल mercy on me because I'm taking care of you. So those are those kind of people who are come here with some specific purpose. But Lord has told me, those who come as Brahmanas, who are very poor, they are allowed first. Yes, Prabhu ji, ये कैसा आप ये बात बोल रहे हैं, मुझे डाइजेस्ट नहीं हो रहा है। हाँ, those who are very poor are very close to Krishna, you know that. The more poorer you are, the more closer you are with Krishna. Now, what does this word poor actually represents? Lord says, and Kunti Maharani says in the Bhagavatam, one may have lot of wealth, but if he thinks that this wealth is mine, I am the owner, I am the enjoyer, then he is considering himself as a rich man in this material world. Whereas a person who has lot of wealth, but he thinks, I am not the owner of this wealth. Whatever I have earned is because of my past karmas. And one day or the other, I have to leave this wealth and go. So this wealth actually belongs to God. One who stays in that mood, he is more happier. He is more connected to God. So he said, please go. So Sudama was very happy. Can you please pass a message on to your Lord? Just go and tell him, I am his friend, Sudama, who has studied in his along with him in the school. Okay, the doorkeeper said, fine. And the doorkeeper went to inside the mahal where Krishna was resting on a beautiful, jhula. And Krishna was lying down, resting on a sleeping position, lying down, and there was a screen. Acharyas give a very nice description over here. There was a beautiful screen. एक पर्दा था. One side of the parda, Krishna was lying down on the jhula, and on the other side, the doorkeeper came and he said, Bhagwan, someone has come to meet you. Krishna was silent. He did not reply. I knew कोई ना कोई आते रहते हैं मिलने के लिए दिन भर. मिलता क्यों है? कुछ फायदे के लिए मिलने आते हैं ना. लोग अक्सर तकलीफ में रहते हैं तभी भगवान याद आता है. जब अच्छे टाइम पे रहते हैं भगवान याद नहीं आते. तो he said, he is waiting, someone has come to meet you. He said, who it is? Tell me. He said, he says he is your friend. He is a poor Brahmana. And he says he is your friend. When he heard the word a poor Brahmana and a friend, immediately Krishna just sat up from the sleeping position. He sat up and he said, means who is it? And then he said, his name is Sudama. When he heard the name, he is Sudama. Krishna just got up. Sudama, my friend, Sudama, my friend. He went running out. He ran faster than the doorkeeper and ran towards Sudama. And Sudama also heard Krishna say, call out, Sudama, Sudama. Immediately, Sudama also started shouting, Krishna, Krishna, and he ran inside. Both embraced each other. What's so special? Two friends embracing each other. Nowadays, I see college boys and girls also embracing each other for nothing. Is it not? Such a tragedy. Bodily feelings. There are no actual feelings. Whereas, when you could see Krishna embracing Sudama, what was the speciality? Sudama was crying because he met Krishna after a long time. But not only that, here Krishna was also crying. First time you will hear that Sudama is crying. You will hear only in Bhagavatam these stories. By the way, I would like to ask our regular Sunday morning students, what's the difference between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? Can anyone tell me? Fast. Yes? Nobody?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Yes. Yes,
गीता में 700 श्लोक हैं जहाँ पे कृष्ण और अर्जुन जो बातचीत है उन्होंने उपदेश दिया है वो बताया गया है. और भागवतम में बहुत सारी कहानियां हैं. कृष्ण भगवान की लीलाएं हैं.
और कितने श्लोक हैं? 18,000 श्लोक हैं. 18,000 श्लोक्स are there in Bhagavatam. Please note all these points. You should remember 18,000 shlokas are there in Bhagavatam, and Bhagavad Gita 700 shlokas. Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna is giving advice or giving us the life in way in which we should live our life, and Arjuna is asking the questions on our behalf. Whereas Bhagavatam is story about devotees. Why ask this question? Krishna, why is he crying? Anywhere you have seen Krishna crying? Krishna, he is crying here for a devotee. So this is what entire Bhagavatam, if you see, is story about devotees. Only in the 10th canto, there is some story about Krishna Leela. Till 10th canto, there is only Bhakta Leela. Bhaktas are doing Leelas. And in the 10th canto, Krishna is doing the small Leela. His childhood pastimes are there. So Krishna took the Brahmana inside, took him inside his house and told, hey, Rukmani, see my best friend, Sudama has come. And looking at Sudama, she was wondering what happened to him. The Marialsa, the skinny and bony person, looking very dirty and haggard. Was looking very, because of his poverty, he had gone totally drained out. Krishna immediately said, he's my best friend, and prepare some nice meals for him. Immediately, goddess of money, goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, took her mobile phone and called up Swiggy and Zomato and she ordered, right? That's what you all think she did? No. That's not the culture of a good wife. She immediately cooked food for Sudama. And Krishna washed his feet, Sudama's feet, poured that water on his head. That is what a grahasa should do when a Brahmana comes to his house. So he wanted to show us what rituals we should follow. And then Krishna and Sudama personally served Sudama, Krishna and Rukmani personally served Sudama various varieties of food. 4 प्रकार के स्वीट्स थे, लड्डू थे, मोदक थे, 10 वैरायटी की सब्जियां थी, खट्टा मीठा चटनी था। बोले क्यों प्रभु जी मुंह में पानी क्यों छोड़ रहे हो, संडे मॉर्निंग है। क्या करूं, भागवत में लिखा हुआ है सब। Various varieties of foodstuffs are mentioned in the Bhagavad itself. And all these varieties was made personally by Rukmani Devi, not by Swiggy and Zomato. Finally, she made all these varieties of food and they personally served. Till then, it was okay. Most of the items, Sudama had never heard those names. Forget about eating it. He was so poor. He had never कभी नाम भी नहीं सुना था उन चीजों का. But Sudama was enjoying, just watching Krishna, just seeing Krishna. He was not interested in the food. He was just getting a chance to see Krishna. He was not interested in the varieties of food and licking it off. No, he was not interested. After the food was over, Krishna said, Sudama, why don't you take some rest? So Sudama said, I'm also very tired. Walking all the way from Junagadh to Dwarka is not a small distance. Let me go and take rest. So Krishna said, told Sudama, where are you going? Come to my bedroom. And took him to his personal bedroom. And the description of the bed is so fantastic in Bhagavatam. It said it was something marvelous bed. And Krishna made Sudama sit on that bed. That time, Acharya say, Rukmini saw with some little frowning towards Krishna. क्यों इस गंदे ब्राह्मण को अपने बेड पे बिठा रहे हो? A bed where Krishna and Rukmini are sleeping. On that bed, he's making a Brahmana lie down, an old, dirty Brahmana, a skinny Brahmana. That time, Krishna just made his eyes large at Rukmini Devi with a clear-cut message. Don't forget, had not a Brahmana got the message about your love letter to me, even you would not have been my wife today. So always be indebted to a Brahmana. Be always thankful for a Brahmana. Hope you all have read the Rukmani story, Rukmani Vivaha story. So finally, Lakshmi Devi, that is Rukmani Devi, understood, yes, she has to be indebted. For it not being the Brahmana, it would have been very difficult. Finally, after Krishna was, and Sudama was lying down on the bed, Krishna came and massaged his feet personally. He said, you have taken so much of trouble to come to meet me. Let me massage your feet. It's not that Sudama was also enjoying, thoda idhar, thoda upar, thoda niche. He didn't say like that. He was just drinking the nectar from Krishna's eyes. When the rest period was over, Krishna suddenly asked, yes, Sudama, what did you get for me? Just imagine. Would Lord ask any one of us such a question? Why our Lord asked only Sudama? The reason was he loved Sudama so much. That was actual Sakha Bhav. Like if you have a very close, intimate friend, You don't go to his house and ask him, sir, what do you have you cook? Can you give me some food? You just walk into his kitchen. You may just open his tiffin box. You may eat from his tiffin box without asking his, taking his permission also. And even he would not mind. That is actual Sakha Bhav. That is actual friendship. And Krishna was just doing that. That shows how close Krishna was with Sudama and how close Sudama was with Krishna. He asked Krishna, he asked Sudama, yes, Sudama, what did you get for me? Mind you, the god of all the gods. भगवान और देवता में अंतर तो सबको पता है ना. बाकी सब देवता कुछ ना कुछ दे सकते हैं, मगर भगवान सभी देवताओं के ऊपर हैं. और वो पूछ रहे हैं एक गरीब ब्राह्मण से, मेरे लिए क्या लाया? Actually, he is not asking for food. He is asking for bhava. Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya pravachati tadam bhaktya upahartam ashnami prayatatmanaha. One who offers me with love, patram pushpam phalam toyam. He didn't say paneer ki sabji. He didn't say, rasgulla, rasmalai, or very, pizza and various other beautiful dainties. He just said, Patram pushpam phalam toyam, patra do, pushpa do, patta do, fool do, pushpa do, patram pushpam phalam, fruit do, फल दो मुझे, या कुछ भी नहीं दे सकते हो, पानी दो, बट कैसे दो? तदम भक्त्या उपहर्तम, भक्ति से दो मुझे. अष्टामी प्रयतात्मना, वैसे जब भक्ति से देता, अष्टा मीन्स टू ईट, आई विल ईट इट इमीडिएटली. So Krishna was asking his love. And Sudama felt, अरे आपके दरवाजे के बाहर तो सिंदूर का बोरी लेके खड़े हैं लोग, रत्न, वेरियस डायमंड्स एंड रूबीज एंड एमराल्ड्स लेके खड़े हैं, मेरा गिफ्ट तो बहुत छोटा है. हाउ कैन आई गिव यू दिस स्मॉल गिफ्ट? He felt very bad. So he was not happy to give him. And then Krishna said, सोच के देखो. नहीं नहीं कुछ नहीं लाया. And he started scratching his head. Suddenly under his armpit, Krishna could see a small packet which his wife had given him. Immediately he plucked it out from his hand, opened it, ate it. He said, wow, it's very tasty. He took the second morsel and he was about to put it. Rukmini Devi came and held his hand. He said, Krishna, it's enough. This one morsel of food is enough to give him the happiness and the Aishwarya of all the three lokas. Not just one loka, three lokas. Immediately, Krishna was, actually his hand was held back by Rukmini. Sudama was very happy that Krishna has happily taken his meek, simple gift, what he had taken for him. Finally, Sudama took leave from him the next day and he started back to the journey. Whole night he was just thinking the way Krishna reciprocated with him. And next day morning, when Krishna left, Sudama left, Krishna bid him a very good farewell. And again, the whole road, he was just contemplating on how Krishna had talked to him, how Krishna fed him, how Krishna talked to him sweetly. Everything was moving in his mind. And in a short period of time, he reached home. He reached Sudamapuri. But now when he came home, things were all different. His whole house, where his house was there, his hut was there, was missing. And there he saw a beautiful palace, identical to one which Krishna and Rukmini were staying. That type of palace, identical palace, was standing there. Sudama said, अरे मैं गांव से बाहर क्या गया, किसी ने मेरा झोपड़ा तोड़ के वहां पे महल बांध दिया लगता है. But in the meantime, he could hear someone say, oh, daddy, mummy, daddy, papa. Suddenly he saw son and daughter were nicely standing on the balcony of the bungalow and with nice silken dress, and his wife also dressed up as good as Rukmini Devi, so nicely decked with so much of jewels and valuable things. Sudama was like confused. What has happened? Suddenly they all came down and received their husband. Said, see daddy, I'm wearing a new silken dress, I'm wearing a new silken golden necklace. And wife was like shining like Rukmini Devi. So he asked, what happened? I don't know. She said, I don't know. You went, you must have met Krishna, and suddenly Krishna has blessed us with so much of opulence. See, our whole house has become like gold. Not only our house, all the other houses. इसके लिए आचार्यगण का 2 टीका बहुत अच्छा है. Few acharyas say, just because they also took some effort in giving something to Krishna, Krishna not only blessed Sudama, but blessed those people also who gave him something to be given to Krishna. Secondly, कहते हैं किसी भागवत या भक्त के साथ जुड़े रहने में जिंदगी भर फायदा है. कैसा फायदा है? अगर आप भक्त के साथ जुड़े हो तो भक्त के कल्याण हो साथ आपका भी हो जाएगा. वो कैसे? सिंपल. Suppose Krishna is merciful on you, and let's say suppose you are staying in a place like Dharavi, horrible place, and the beach in the middle of Dharavi, one beautiful palace. कैसा रहेगा? अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, right? So Krishna makes sure आपके अड़ोस पड़ोस के लोगों का भी भला कर दे ताकि आपका level of standard उनकी तरह अच्छा दिखे. So that is why we should always be in association of devotees. Even if you are not a good devotee, even if you're not a perfect devotee, by his devotion service, you will be benefited. And that can be seen very clearly in this katha. So when he went inside Sudama, he saw everything very nicely. The whole house was very nicely dressed up. But what did he search when he went inside the house? Can anyone tell me that? अंदर जाके क्या ढूंढा उसने?
कृष्णा जी की विग्रह.
You're close. उसने जाके घर के अंदर अपना पुराना घर में जो मंडप रखा था ना भगवान का, वो ढूंढ रहा था. And when he went inside and he saw a beautiful new house for the Lord, a room for the Lord, and the Lord was there, he saw that, he was very happy. Here the wife, when she saw Sudama, in the heart of heart, though everyone was there, some villagers were there, in the heart of heart, she felt like embracing her husband. Kalyani felt like embracing her husband. So some people will say, हाँ पति इतना नोट छाप के आया तो any पत्नी will like to embrace her husband, no? इतना पैसा कमा के आया, रातों रात करोड़पति बना दिया. No, that was not the bhava. The bhava what she was having was, my husband was actually being embraced by Krishna. Let me go and embrace my husband because he was personally embraced by Krishna. That was the bhava she was having. Finally, after the whole thing was over, what do you say, reception of Sudama was over. Sudama was wondering, you must be wondering, what did Sudama say? What did Sudama say to his wife about the entire trip? What was the conclusion? Wife asked, na? Any wife will ask, हाँ बोलो कैसा रहा आपका ट्रिप, कहाँ घूमे, कृष्ण को कहाँ मिले, क्या क्या मिला कृष्ण ने, और क्या क्या लिख के दिया अपने नाम पे, कितना जमीन लिख के दिया, क्या लिख के दिया, उसे पूछा रहेगा ना. Any wife generally asks, but what do you think Krishna must have asked her? I mean, Kalyani must have asked Sudama. Kalyani and Sudama were having a talk. Sudama said, see, I met Krishna, but Krishna was so merciful on me. Though he had so many kings waiting for him with valuable gifts, Krishna called me inside, took me to his room, fed me very, very, very nice food and massaged my feet. His wife was fanning me with chamar. So I was given a grand welcome. And then why Sudama said at that time, Sudama was much jittered and he said, I am still very poor. I am still very poor. What is the poverty? Because of what? इतना पैसा मिलने के बाद भी वो गरीब क्यों है? Can anyone give me an answer? Fast.
कृष्ण भगवान
Because
कृष्ण
Krishna is
भगवान
not with him.
One minute रिया. हाँ बोलिए माता जी. Okay रिया.
प्रभु
हाँ बोलिए.
क्योंकि वो कृष्ण भगवान के साथ, मतलब कृष्ण भगवान ऐसे आध्यात्मिक तो उसके साथ थे, पर ऐसे उसके साथ नहीं थे, इसके लिए शायद.
कृष्ण हमेशा आपके साथ हैं. आपके हृदय में परमात्मा के रूप में बैठे हुए हैं. आप कृष्ण से कभी अलग है ही नहीं.
Prabhuji, because of feelings of separation.
No. Yes. Yes, Priya. Priya Singh माता जी.
जी प्रभु जी.
बोलो.
प्रभु जी, I am not sure, but like Krishna से मिलने के बाद he should not have come back to his material life again, maybe.
Okay, Priya Mittal माता जी, where are you?
Yes, प्रभु जी.
Yes, now is your topic. We will discuss.
प्रभु जी आप ही बताइए प्लीज. बहुत बहुत रस आ रहा है, तो अभी आप ही वो फ्लो कंटिन्यू करिए प्लीज.
First and foremost, he was cursing himself that Krishna has given him so much of material opulence that now his devotional service is going to go for toss. Because व्यक्ति के जब भी व्यक्ति के अंदर खूब ऐश्वर्य, धन, संपत्ति आ जाती है तो उसका भक्ति सत्यानाश, विनश्यति हो जाती है. And the second reason is, he said, I'm very poor. With my little devotion, I encashed it for money. With my little devotion, I encashed it for some material opulence. But actually, I'm so poor that I don't have devotional service inside me. I don't have devotion inside me. I don't have pure love for Krishna. I don't have pure love for Krishna. And that is the reason why I am suffering so much. First and foremost, the story which was generally which people know about Krishna having, Sudama having stolen away. This is not mentioned in any Shastra. And गरीब तो वो था, गरीब वो धन से नहीं था, गरीब वो था तो भक्ति से गरीब था. भक्ति से गरीब था वो व्यक्ति. Not with money, not with धन. धन तो काफी आ चुका था. और धन के बाद उसका सबसे बड़ा दुख का कारण क्या था? धन में become the biggest impediment for his devotion service. So one has to be very careful when once he gets lot of money. Krishna may shower you with lot of wealth at times. किसी को ऑर्डर नहीं रहेगा तो सडनली बहुत सारा ऑर्डर आ जाएगा. बट अक्सर व्यक्ति का दिमाग खराब हो जाता है. When he gets money, when he gets wealth, he gets diverted from devotional service. So the main purpose is devotion service should be intact. And Sudama clearly makes this gives this understanding to us that one, he was not just poor of opulence, he was poor of devotion service. However, one should not try to encash his devotion service by this little material benefits, जो आपको वक्त आने पे इस धरती पे छोड़ के जाना है. And last but not the least, very, very important point. And that point is, अक्सर श्रुति फल में लोग से कहते हैं कि इस कहानी को सुनने से खूब सारा धन मिलेगा, खूब सारा पैसा मिलेगा. वो तो कर्मों से आता है. धन और बाकी ऐश्वर्य जो है वो आपके कर्मों से आता है. यहाँ इस कथा का एक्चुअल श्रुतिफल मीन्स आफ्टर लिसनिंग टू द कथा व्हाट बेनिफिट यू गेट. द एक्चुअल बेनिफिट यू गेट इज you will get pure devotional love for Krishna. This is what is the entire crux of the story of Sudama. Yes. Anybody has got any doubts, questions? Fast, because I have to wind up this class by 10:45, 10:45, 10:50 max.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Question here.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, in start you said that story that जब खाना लेके गए थे and he did not give it to Krishna when there was rain and all, and you said that story is not true. But I saw in Mahabharata that story was shown. Or can you put some light on that?
Have you read Bhagavad?
No, I have not read anything. It is just I saw Mahabharata and I
See,
recollected.
that's what I'm saying. All commercial things cannot be considered to be true, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
This is a commercial serial. If they don't show all this nonsense to you, a person like you will not see it, because after all, आपको कथा में purity नहीं चाहिए, चटपटा होना चाहिए लोगों को. People want it to be spicy and tasty. They don't want the actual crux of it. Is it clear, Darshan?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Yes, if you go and see Krishna serial, which is being shown, Radha Krishna serial, you can ask your friend. They themselves are clearly mentioning in the internet, it is only 20% original, 80% masala. तो ही चलेगा. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else has got any other questions, doubts? Can ask. Deepali.